Hello everybody, myself Pallavi Gulle from KKV College of Horticulture. So today we are going to see about the rejuvenation of orchard, top working and frameworking. So what is rejuvenation? So rejuvenation is the process of pruning and after pruning, management of the plant to make them productive by utilizing the existing root system for the support and absorption of the existing limb branches system to rebuild the productive canopy. What is senility? So, senility is the stage of the plant in which, after a long span of a continuous fruiting, the ability of the branches or the limbs or the whole trees to produce the vigorous and efficient twigs having the capacity to bear the fruit is reduced. Why rejuvenation of sessile plant? India is the leading fruit producing country. Fruit production in the country is an age old enterprise. A large acreage is under systematic fruit plantation. The low average productivity of the orchards in India is attributed to the prevalence of the senile orchards. Hence, the rejuvenation is required to improve the productivity of senile orchards. Characteristics of senile orchards: predominance of the long, unfruitful branches and the tip bearing habit, reduction in the ability of a particular branch to produce the vigorous and efficient twigs which can bear the fruits, overcrowding of the branches in the inner part of the canopy leading to the restricted sunlight penetration, heavy incidence of the pest and diseases, drastic reduction in fruit yield size and appearance. Principles of rejuvenation: trees have a latent buds on their limbs and the branches which are activated to put forth new sprouts, which ultimately form a canopy and the fruiting area of the plant. Improvement in the root shoot ratio. Consideration for rejuvenation: age of the plant, ability of the species to copies, frame of the tree, time and the severity of rejuvenation, post rejuvenation care, transformation of the rejuvenated juvenile shoots into the productive one, top working to change the variety. Need for rejuvenation: most of the fruit bearing plants are perennial in the nature and provide a fruit over a long period. However, productivity declines with the aging of the fruits. Different factors can be attributed to the reduction in the productivity: poor quality of the nursery plants, imbalance use of the fertilizers, wrong method of and timing of application and irrigation, inefficient and defective weed control, damage by the insect pest and diseases, long gestation period of orchard trees, defective picking and the post harvest losses, dominance of the vegetative phase over the reproductive phase. So many orchard owners simply desert the existing orchard and go for a new one. Among the various major improved technology, instead of establishment of the new orchard, the rejuvenation of the old one are the most important and easiest way of improving the fruit industry of India. This has a several disadvantages as it will take a long time to establish the new orchard. It is costly and will occupy a piece of the land without returning significantly for a long time. Advantages of rejuvenation: utilization of the existing root system, lowering the fruiting area which can be conveniently managed, creation of the extra space for intercropping in the orchard, ability of a large amount of a pruned wood which can provide additional income, enhancing the productivity of plant. Techniques of rejuvenation: pruning, irrigation, manuring, thinning of shoots, supplemental feeding, control of devitalizing agent, wedge grafting, bridge grafting, and cleft grafting. Pruning. So, pruning is a very powerful technique of rejuvenating the plants. It brings the juvenility. While the pruning, every attempt is made to remove the dead, damaged, diseased, and lacerating branches. Generally, pruning is resorted at the breast height at about 2 meters from the ground level. Lower pruning, more vigorous, is the sprouting. It is a physiological age, not chronological age, that is the most important for the juvenility and in turn the ability of the plant to sprout. Further, after a long bearing age, trees itself enter into a senility. Pruning helps in invigorating such plants. Manuring. Timely manuring and fertilization is essential for a good resume of rejuvenated our plants. Manuals and fertilizers are applied 1 month ahead of flowering. On rejuvenated plants, upon the emergence of the new growth, micronutrients should be supplied. These nutrients can also be applied repeatedly during a new growth stage of the plant. However, the requirement of the major nutrients, especially NPK, being a higher order, this must be applied through soil application, thinning of shoots, thinning of shoots. In response to the pruning, there is emergence of the several shoots on the plant. These shoots remain overcrowded one over the other. Aeration, penetration of the light, space, etc. among the branches are not at all proper. To deal with the situation, only the selected number of shoots may be allowed to grow on the plant. While thinning, 4 to 5 shoots spread all over the plant may be allowed to grow. Rest shoots are removed. Healthy, vigorous, well sprouted, and the well spaced shoots are retained to continue the framework of the rejuvenated plant. Supplemental feeding. A damaged plant can be brought back to the vigorous stage by arranging for the infusion of the sap. For this purpose, many seeds are planted near the trunk of the plant. They are allowed to grow. When the seedling attain the height of about 1 meter, they are detopped. Their top portion are see, incised in the form of the wedge. Similar matching cut is given in the trunk of the plant, requiring rejuvenation pruning. After then, the seedling top portions are inserted in the bark of the damaged plant. After some time, union takes place and the seedling become a part of the rejuvenating trees. Control of devitalizing agents. Pests and diseases act as a major devitalizing agent of the plants. In the woody perennial plants, there is a heavy incidence of the bark eating caterpillar, trunk borer, leaf eating caterpillar, pest, etc. In a long run, these pests devitalize the plants. With a trunk borer, the plant's xylem tissues are damaged, the flow of a cell sap is hampered, and the plants enter the stage of decadence. Diseases also ruin the health of the plants. Leaf spot disease, pink disease, stem rot, root rot, etc., take a heavy toll on the survival of the plants. These causative diseases need timely control. Cleft grafting. It is one of the oldest technique of a top working trees. It is also useful for propagating a small trees. In the case of the top working trees, the use of this technique should be limited to the branches of about 2.5 to 10 centimeter diameter. The plant species which have a straight grain wood and splits evenly are considered ideal for cleft grafting. On the stub to be grafted, a downward vertical split of 5 to 8 centimeter length is prepared. The vertical incision is made on the two sides of the stalk. The scion shoot of 8 to 10 centimeter length and the pencil thickness is used. Matching incision is prepared on the lower portion of the scion. The scion is inserted in the vertical slit of rootstock. Wedge grafting. Old trees can be rejuvenated through the wedge grafting. The plant is cut in the form of the stub at about 1 meter height from the ground level. V wedge about 5 centimeter deep is prepared in the side of the stub. Similar matching V shape is cut in prepared on the bottom side of the scion. The scion is tapped downward firmly into the place. It is kept downward slightly at the top to have the best match of the cambium layer. Every attempt is made that the scion should be held tightly in the place to prevent its dislodging. Bridge grafting. It is used to repair the plant. Quite often plants receive the injury due to the cultivation equipment, winter injury, diseases, pest rodents, etc. The damage is excessive and the tree is very short time. Actually, the damage causes hindrance in the translocation of the nutrients from top to roots. Bridge grafting takes care of it. It is the best performed during the early spring when the plant is actively growing and there is a slipping of the bark easily. The scion should be obtained from 1 year old growth. Dormant scions of 6 to 13 diameter is used for grafting. Before attempting the bridge grafting, wounded area is trimmed back to healthy, undamaged tissues by removing the dead or damaged part. V-shaped incision is made at the tip and also the bottom of the rootstock to insert the scion. The scion is inserted every 5 to 7 around the injured section of the plant. After insertion of all the scions, the cut surface must be covered by graft wax. Frameworking. Grafting many small secondary scaffold branches high on the trees constitute a frameworking. It requires insertion of the graft throughout the main frame of the tree. A large number of the scions is required to replace the small laterals and scaffold branches. Growth coming out from the previous frame of the tree is removed time to time and favors the establishment of the science. The frameworking is resorted using the budding and the grafting technique. The framework plant reward a good fruiting, but the technique being a cumbersome and expensive, it is not practiced commercially in the orchard. Top working. It is a technique or the method of rejuvenation where the objective is to upgrade a seedling plantation of inferior varieties with a superior commercial cultivars or the hybrid suitable for the domestic or the export market or desired variety of the grower. The technique involves grafting with a procured scion of a desired variety on the shoots emerged on the prune branches by adopting a softwood grafting during the monsoon season. The silent shoot and the emerged shoot should be of same thickness. Advantages: increases the tree productivity and the orchard productivity. Conversion of the old and senile orchard into the productive orchard. Conversion of the seedling or the inferior variety into a new orchard with a desirable variety or the varieties through top working. Possibility of the grafting several varieties on the same plant. Increasing the fruit set of the orchard by grafting a new shoots with a pollinizer variety. Additional income by the selling the prune wool during a non-bearing season or the period. Disadvantages: chances of the death of the plant if not done properly or on a severe pruning. Need a good management post pruning period. Loss of the crop for 2 to 3 years. Chances of the pest and disease occurrence. Need skilled labor for thinning of the shoots, removal of the side shoots, etc. Top working technique can be successfully followed in the crops like mango, sapota, onla, cashew, guava, tamarind, jackfruit, etc. Thank you. This was all about the rejuvenation of the orchard.